School Board, and we know that's on May the 20th. So we're going to have a discussion because I know that you guys have some questions that you send in, and we definitely want to make sure we make an informed decision, especially when it comes to voting for our children, our families, and the community. So welcome, and I know that you can introduce yourself way better than I can, so please introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
Well, my name's Alphonso Hardwick. I am a proud graduate of Freeport School System and a father of a student in the system. And I've been part of Freeport all my life. I'm serving in the fire department. I've been there for 40 years. I served on the council. I just did my last term of a council member of 20 years with the Freeport Fire Department. I've been a group counselor for Operation Get Ahead, and I also serve on the board at my church here in Freeport, and I'm also the president of the PTA at the junior high school here in Freeport. So I'm rooted, invested in the village of Freeport. So let's get this on.
Well, thank you so much. You answered some of the questions that I was actually going to ask. But you know what? To just kind of slow it down so everybody could get a good understanding as we go through the questions and stuff like that. And thank you for introducing yourself. And thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. And it's definitely a pleasure having you here today to, help people make an informed decision. So, this is something that you volunteered to do.
Right.
And I'm glad that you actually volunteered to do just that, because that speaks volume when people come on and volunteer the information that we're asking and that people have concerns about. So one of my first questions is have you ever served on a school board?
I'm serving right now.
Okay.
No, not school board, but the PTA.
So you served on the PTA before?
Right. I'm serving right now as the president of the PTA at the junior high school.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful. So, what junior high school are you serving at?
At John W. Dodd Junior High School in Freeport.
Okay. And the next question I actually have is, what current board do you serve on, and what leadership role have you held that in terms of you being able to understand the way budgets work?
Well, I was on the budget committee with the fire department. Also with the church, we work on different budgeting throughout the year, and also managing some funds with the PTA as well. But on a larger scale, it's more with the fire department and the church. I also served as president of my co-op board,
Okay.
dealing with funds as well.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And I have a question. So are you a volunteer fireman?
Yes, I am.
Well, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate you running into the fire, because as we run out, they run in. So thank you for that.
They light it, we fight it. But just let me make it clear, I do not fight fires anymore. I do not go inside. I do not drive the fire truck anymore. So I'm more or less a member of the fire department at this time.
Okay. And how many years was that?
40 years.
40 years. Wow.
40 years to now, I've been part of the fire department.
Okay.
But actually going, fighting fires, it was about 26 years.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a couple of questions, because I know you're running for the school board and everything like that. So, how many people sit on the school board?
There's 5.
There's 5. Okay, great. And how many seats are up actually?
There's 2 seats up right now.
Okay.
The 2 trustees they decided not to run again.
Okay. And how many people are actually running?
Right now, there's 2 of us running for the each of those seats.
Okay. And it's just 2 people running, so
Yes.
it's unopposed?
Unopposed.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful. And I have another question now. How many voters are required to actually pass when you're voting and stuff like that? Are you familiar with how the board works?
Well, from what I understand, let me see how to answer that question. You're answering to understand it clearly. Are you asking far as the voters coming out to vote, or how many voters do we have in the school district to vote?
in the school district.
So-
Because, I guess the reason why, let me ask another question first then. The reason why I'm asking this question is because first, have you ever been to any of the, school board meetings?
Yes, I attended.
Okay, great. It's good to know that you attend. So then you would understand how many votes it takes in order to pass. So how many votes does it normally take to pass, something on the agenda or the docket?
And you're talking about at the actual board meeting with the trustees having,
Yes.
thank you, I was trying to understand
Yes.
exactly where you were going with that question. So there's 5 members on the board, so you need the majority, you need 3
Okay,
to pass. And if there's, something, there are other votes where you need more than just 3 votes. It all depends what that particular topic is.
okay, great. So you understand the concept of what you're getting into then?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what it's all about, being able to understand what it is that you're getting into. And that's the reason why I'm asking these questions, because, people reached out to me and gave me different kind of questions, and they want to make sure that the right person's going to get in the seat and understand what they're getting into. What do you think your role is as a school board trustee?
To help govern the funding, the budget with the school district, and also help managing the day-to-day operations, dealing with the superintendent, as the superintendent deals with the day-to-day operations and employees and staff alone day-to-day.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So then you understand pretty much that, as a board member, that the superintendent is really the employee of the staff.
Right,
That's there, the administrative staff and all the teachers and stuff like that.
they oversee them,
Okay.
exactly.
It's definitely good to, know what you're getting into and your position that you're supposed to actually do, because when you understand it, then you know what to do, right?
Exactly.
So how often does the board meet?
Well, minimum 2 meetings a month.
2 meetings a month.
Right.
Okay, and with your busy schedule, are you gonna be able to attend those meetings?
Absolutely, I'm retired.
Oh, okay.
I'm invested in this all the way.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So you're retired, so you actually have the time to go and actually listen, so that you'll be able to make a good decision of what's taking place. That's good to know. As an elected member, would you stand firm in your belief and decision, even when you feel opposed by what's happening in terms of the entire board?
Could you repeat that again?
Sure. So, as an elected member, would you stand firm in your belief and your decision, even when you're facing the opposition?
I believe that's the only way to be. You have to stand firm and believe what you're doing is right to protect the best interests of the school district. It's not about Republican or Democratic issues. It's a Freeport thing, and as if God's willing and you guys elect me, I will fight for that right for Freeport.
That's really good to know, because when you're sitting in that seat, sometimes there's going to be a decision where you're going to feel like everybody else is going yes, and it's good to know that regardless, you don't mind just being that one person that says no, especially when you know that the people elected you for a position. You're just not going to go with it just because everybody else is going with it.
I also believe if it's not benefiting the students, the teachers, and the supporting staff, there's no need for me to go down the wrong road.
Exactly.
Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Right, and that's what we need. We need more people not minding to sometimes you have to stand alone. I always tell people that, it's lonely at the top. So there's nothing wrong with sometimes having to just be there by yourself, especially when you know your decision is right on what you're doing. Even if the vote doesn't pass, at least you know you can sleep at night. How do you plan to maintain an open communication with your community on various topics and issues?
Well, it's a collective. It should be collectively done amongst the board and administration, the superintendent, to reach the community, to engage with them with their concerns along with our concerns and what we involved in with. That should be everything that comes across that meeting floor. They should be notified what's going on with their school district.
Right.
It's not about us, it's about them. We're here to serve them, not them to serve us.
That's right. And how do you plan to help get the word out when there's information that you need to share? How do you do it now as a PTA member?
Well, we use different technical devices, Facebook, Instagram, phone calls, mailings,
Right.
etc.
Okay.
And meetings.
Okay. That's wonderful. So then you'll do a lot of social media outlet, personal, and also just getting the mailers out. That's a good way because everybody don't use the same kind of technology. And there are people that's old school, and when it comes to making decision with the school board and things need to be shared, you should try every single outlet. And I like the fact that you're saying that.
But those things are in place now with the school board, how they communicate. Have things, not been communicated, I can't say yes or no to that because I'm not there.
Right.
But most of the information, or you can go online and get it. You can go online to, if you missed a meeting, you can go back and see what took place in the meeting. So the information's out there.
Okay. So I know that Freeport District has successfully held the tax levy that the taxpayers haven't had to worry about, their taxes going up based on the school budget, which kudos to you guys for actually doing that. That's excellent. My question that I want to know is, being that you are familiar with the budget and everything like that, how do you plan to make sure that they continue to hold the levy and playing your part with working with the superintendent, the other board members, and the treasurer? What are some things you think is going to be important to make sure that you pay attention to?
I think it's very vital for us to have dialogue together and look at the data, go back and look at the other budgets before we submit a new budget. We have to, make sure that we're taking care of all the taxpayers in Freeport concerning the school budget.
Okay. Are you familiar with what the school budget is right now?
How much it is?
How much it is?
It's about almost $700 million.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number at this time, but it's a couple of $100 million
Okay.
total.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Where do you believe some of the budget resource should be allocated to benefit the entire school district?
Say that again.
Where do you think that some of the school budget resource should be allocated to benefit the entire school district? Where do you feel that you would like to see some of the money go towards?
I think it's vital. Well, I like the